Recording in progress.
Good afternoon and welcome to the 49th Honolulu Liquor Commission meeting. Commissioners, I believe we have some minutes to approve.
Yes, sir. Motion to approve the regular minutes of the 38th meeting and the regular and executive session minutes of the 37th and 40th meetings as previously circulated.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve the regular minutes of the 38th meeting and the regular and executive session minutes of the 37th and 40th meetings as previously circulated. Any objections? Any with reservations? Seeing none, chair votes aye. The minutes are approved. Moving into the public hearing, calling agenda item number 1, transfer application number 21-22326 from MAC acquisition of Hawaii LLC DBA Romanos Micronegra.
Good afternoon, Chair, Commissioners. Terry Lee appearing on behalf of the applicant, MAC Acquisition of Hawaii.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. Ms. Harai.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. This application has received 0 written protest, 0 letters in support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application. And for the record, a summary of the June 3rd preliminary hearing testimony was provided to Chair Ganaban prior to the public hearing.
Commissioners, any questions or comments for Mr. Lee?
Motion to approve transfer application number 21-22326.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve transfer application number 21-22326. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Transfer application is approved. Thank you, Mr. Lee.
Thank you very much.
Okay, moving on to agenda item number 2, application number 21-22141 from T.H. Kahala LLC.
Yes, good afternoon, Commission. Dawn Hunt appearing for TH Kahala LLC and Keenan Canarium member.
Thank you. Ms. Harai?
Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. This application has received 0 written protests, 1 letter in support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Ms. Hunt, do you have any other changes that you needed to make to this application other than what was noted at the last hearing?
No, there have been no changes.
Very good.
Yes, this is Robert Pitlar, 75 KFI Street Apartment Association calling in.
Hold on, Mr. Pilarts. Hold on, please. Is it Mr. Pilarts?
Pitlars.
Hi. What, I'm sorry, on what matter are you calling in for? What agenda item?
21-22141.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Oh, that's this one.
okay. Mr. Pilarts, can you give us just a second so we can, reorganize here? I believe you're gonna want to offer testimony. Is that what you're calling in for?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Harai, point of order.
Okay, what I'll need to do is, okay, is he audio only? Phone? Okay, audio only. Sir, I'm gonna need to, swear you in. Oh, there we go. Okay. You could raise your right hand, please. Do you swear that the testimony you give at today's hearing will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Are we gonna limit testimony, Ms. Harai?
I can run a timer. Hold on. Sorry.
Mr. Pilar, just to make you aware, just procedurally, you're gonna be timed for 2 minutes based on your testimony. So let's get,
All right.
we're gonna get organized here and then we'll get you going after this.
Okay, we're ready.
Okay. For the record, it's Pitlars.
Oh, boy, pillars. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yes, I am the president of 75 KFI Street Apartment Association, just around the corner from where this proposed activity is to take place. And while I don't necessarily oppose it, I do want to make the record known that our vehicle gate has been damaged at least twice in the past by individuals that were subsequently charged with alcohol-related offenses. And it is, to a certain extent, a residential neighborhood around there. There are some residential buildings. So to the extent that the individuals can maintain a decent environment and a quiet environment after a certain hour, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Does that conclude your testimony, sir?
Yes, it does.
Okay, hold on, please. Ms. Hunt, given his, the testifier's, comments, did you want to add in on any of his concerns?
Yes, this is Kino Canarium for TH Kohala. Yes, sir, we hear your comments. We are also neighbors across the street and plan to operate this as a community resource.
Normally, just as a suggestion, we have, normally if there's any issues or problems, then normally we suggest that the owner provides a emergency contact to the residents, or specifically for this member that can probably voice on behalf of the, since he's part of the association, to voice his concerns with you folks. Is maybe you wanna extend that option or be able to meet up after this or discuss it in detail?
Yeah, I'd be happy to meet with you anytime. And I'm looking at your building right now.
So just on a side point comment, I was there 2 Saturdays ago and I was quite surprised at what the amount of traffic that intersection and just that street has, the amount of foot traffic as well as auto traffic, and I'm thinking it's because of one specific event, but that one event, I had noticed that a lot of the association a lot of the residents that were residing in that area were coming out and expressing their concern to the business owner about the parking situation and just the, amount of congregating that was happening in that area. So just being firsthand seeing that it can get crowded there and the street traffic was very backed up just based on one event, so just keep that in mind. And I did pass by you guys' building, and so, in fact, I was parked in front of your building, so I did see, I got to finally see the actual layout of what you folks proposed, so. Mr. Pillar, would that wrap up everything that you have? Okay, I think we're good.
Okay.
I don't know what the process is after this, but if the fellow decided to offer to contact me, then I don't know how to get my contact information other than what I presented to the Liquor Commission.
Maybe
Sure.
you guys,
I
like
could
I
meet
said,
you
can you guys
after
coordinate?
this
Yeah.
hearing if you want outside.
I'm not at the property right now.
Oh.
I'm elsewhere.
Got it. But if there's a time that you'd like to meet, I'm happy to meet you with Dawn, my wife.
Okay, we'll move on.
Yeah, probably just a phone number, because it has text on it, that's fine.
Okay, is the commission allowed to share our information with him, or how does that usually work?
Typically, he would have to submit a request for public information, I believe. So it would be easier if you could informally provide that information directly to him.
Or maybe if you could meet during your normal business hours.
Meet
that
at the
would- that would be,
business.
maybe an ideal situation as well. Thank you very much for your testimony and comment. My motion will be to approve application number 21-22141.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve application number 21-22141. Any objections? Any with reservations? Seeing none, I vote aye, chair votes aye. Application 21-22141 has been approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry, we had some technical difficulties, so we're gonna redo this again. I'm gonna recall the matter. Commissioner Lee, Vice Chair Lee will, restate the motion as well. So recalling, agenda item number 2, application number 21-22141 from TH Kahala LLC.
Okay, thank you. Yes, my motion will be to approve application number 21-22141.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve application number 21-22141. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Application is approved. Thank
Thank you.
you. Okay, good, you guys can hear us, wonderful. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Moving on to agenda item number 3, application number 21-22411 from TBB Holdings, DBA Tex 808, Mr. Zibakalan. Good afternoon, Mr. Zibakalan.
Good afternoon. Emmanuel Zibakalam here on behalf of TBB Holdings, DBA Tex 808. Reviewed the investigative report and no comments at this time. Can answer any questions.
Thank you. Ms. Harai.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. This matter was rescheduled from the June 17th meeting, which was canceled due to lack of quorum. This application has received 0 written protests, 0 letters in support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Commissioners, any questions or comments from Mr. Zibakalan?
A motion to approve agenda item number 3, application number 21-22411.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve application number 21-22411. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Application has been approved. We're gonna take things out of order and take up agenda item number 36 on a related matter. Calling agenda item number 36. Request number 21-23395 from Mr. Emmanuel Zibakalan on behalf of TBB Holdings.
Yes, Chair. Emmanuel Zibakalam here on behalf of TBB Holdings, DBA Tex 808. This request comes because the lease of the current, I believe it's Mexico Fiesta, has been transferred over to TBB Holdings. They're going to be moving their Tex 808 location from Hawaii Kai Shopping Center over to the adjacent Hawaii Kai Shopping Center. And so we do have a signed lease. I apologize, I do not have it with me at the moment. I was in Austin 8 hours ago. So I would like it, if it is possible, for the commission to act on this with the stipulation that we submit the signed lease before any action is taken. If not, we can continue to next week or whenever you see fit. Thank you, Commissioners.
I do have a comment. We have a note that the previous license will be expiring at the end of the fiscal year. So I think a recommendation would be to continue it to next week.
Thank you. Yes.
And see if the request would be still valid at that time.
Okay.
Are you okay
And-
with that?
I'll just share one concern. My concern is notice to the licensee. So in the event that they somehow activate their license, you may need to communicate with the licensee to make sure they're at least here and can assert their position with respect to the request. But
Definitely.
otherwise, it's a very practical response.
Definitely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
My motion will be to continue agenda item number 36, request number 21-23395 to next week.
Second.
It's been moved in second to continue agenda item 36, request number 21-23395 to next week. Any objections? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Request will be continued to next week. Thank you, Mr. Zibakalan.
Thank you very much, Commissioners. great day.
Okay, going back on a normal, agenda matters, calling agenda item number 4, application number 21-22429 from Broken Glass LLC. Mr. Berger, are you there?
I think it's Mr. Simjon instead.
No one
Yeah,
knows.
good afternoon, Commissioners. Michael Semjian on behalf of Broken Glass LLC, DBA The Other Side Diner.
Thank you. Ms. Harai.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. This application has received 0 written protests, 0 letters in support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Commissioners, any questions or comments for the applicant?
Mr. Sim, I actually have one comment, and I don't recall if you asked this in the preliminary, but, your second floor plan, how do you access that area? I see a stair within the first floor space, but I don't see a stair on that second floor.
There's one stairway to the second floor, but that's our office space. So customers aren't permitted up there.
Okay, but the second floor is part of your, licensed premise.
Yeah, we store liquor and beer up here.
Okay, so yeah, my question is on the exhibit B you provided us, there's no stair showing on the second floor plan, so I just wanted to know where,
Oh, they,
how you actually get up there.
well, there is a staircase. I'm not sure why it's not on the floor plans. Try and find them. Or I can resubmit another floor plan if you need it.
If you could work with the investigators to get an accurate floor plan before you
Okay.
get the license, that would be appreciated.
Yep. Yeah, I'll try and find it, and I'll have Benson Kim, and I'll speak to the investigator.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I see. So the stairs are in the first floor plan, but just the alcove, it doesn't actually have the stairs drawn into the second floor. Is that what you mean?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, I can have him fix this and resubmit it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
My motion will be to approve agenda item number 4, application number 21-22429.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve application number 21-22429. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Application has been approved. Don't forget to get that floor plan in, yeah, Mr. Simjinian.
I will. I'll email Benson right now.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to the next agenda item number 5, application number 21-22703 from KUY Restaurants Limited. Mr. Gota.
Good afternoon, members of the Commission. Neil Gota, appearing on behalf of KUI Restaurants LLC, doing business as MW Restaurants. Appearing with me is J. Garrett Carr, an owner. We have no changes to the investigative report.
Thank you, Mr. Gota. Ms. Harai.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. This application has received 0 written protests, 0 letters in support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Okay, Commissioners, type of action.
Motion to approve agenda item number 5, application number 21-22703.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve application number 21-22703. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Application has been approved.
Thank you.
Calling agenda item number 6, application number 21-22705 from KUY Restaurants Limited Liability Company. Mr. Gota.
Good afternoon, members of the Commission. Neil Gota, appearing on behalf of KUI Restaurants LLC, doing business as Artisan by MW. Appearing with me is J. Garrett Carr, an owner. We have no changes to the investigative report.
Thank you, Mr. Gota. Ms. Harai.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. This application has received 0 written protests, 0 letters in support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Commissioners, type of action.
Motion to approve agenda item number 6, application number 21-22705.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve application number 21-22705. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye, application is approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Calling agenda number 7, application number 21-22706 from KUI Restaurants LLC. Mr. Gota.
Good afternoon, members of the commission. Neil Gota, appearing on behalf of KUI Restaurants LLC, doing business as MW Restaurant. Appearing with me is J. Garrett Carr, an owner. We have no changes to this investigative report.
Thank you. Ms. Harai.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. This application has received 0 written protests, 0 letters in support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Mr. Gota, I do have one question for you. This is a
Sure.
small corner, right, that's adjacent to the other license premise. How do you folks, because it is a separate license, are you set up to bring in these items separately from?
Yes, so any type of inventory related to the retail premise will be stored within that small retail premise, or we will be potentially pursuing an outside warehouse application to store excess inventory. It's supposed to be just a small retail store to supplement, to allow take or retail sales of liquor, but the inventory and operations will be kept separate.
Now the sales are gonna take place at which POS system, or how is that gonna be handled?
The sales will take place for retail sales within that retail premise. So customers would have to make the purchase through a POS system within that retail premise. My understanding is that it's still one POS system, but we're gonna have it's gonna be separated so that the retail sales are separate from any type of the artisan restaurant sales.
Okay, my concern was that space is pretty small, and if it was gonna be staffed a certain way, for the sales and whatnot. But it sounds like you're exploring that currently.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Motion to approve agenda item number 7, application number 21-22706.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve application number 21-22706. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Application has been approved. Thank you, Mr. Gota.
Thank you very much.
Okay, calling agenda item number 8, application number 21-22767 from Ohana Beverage Company LLC. Mr. Kiuchi.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the Commission. Keith Kiuchi for the applicant. Other than the comments I made at the preliminary hearing, we have no additions or corrections to the investigator's report. Elizabeth Hawk, who is a member of Ohana Beverage Company LLC, is also online.
Thank you, Mr. Kiuchi. Ms. Harai.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. This application has received 0 written protests, 0 letters in support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Commissioners, any questions or type of action?
Mr. Chair, motion to approve agenda item number 8, application number 21-22767.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve application number 21-22767. Any objection? Any?
With
Any
reservations.
with reservations? Oh, God. Seeing none, chair votes aye. Application has been approved. Thank you, Mr. Kiuchi.
Madam Chair, just we've got one other matter
Yes.
on this. We're going to ask administration to get the letter out to us tomorrow. The reason is because now that it's been approved, we're trying to transfer the inventory from Paradise Beverages on Saturday, since the following Saturday is a holiday. So just to let administration know. Thank you.
And it's duly noted. Anna is here right now.
Yep.
Making that note.
Thank you very much.
I should have stated this earlier, but I wanted to apologize for missing last week's meeting and not having quorum. And please be patient with us. It's a long agenda today, but we will get through it, and hopefully we'll get through it quickly. Hopefully, but thank you all for being patient and returning this week for today's agenda items.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, calling agenda item number 9, application number 21-22875 from Volcano Skewer House. Oh, Mr. Nishioka.
Hi,
Hello.
good afternoon, Commissioners. Greg Nishioka appearing on behalf of the applicant. Also seated to my left is Zenbo Liu, who is the manager. That's Zhenbo, first name, last name Liu.
Thank you, Mr. Nishioka. Ms. Harai.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. This matter was rescheduled from the June 17th meeting, which was canceled due to lack of quorum. This application has received one written protest, 0 letters in support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Thank you, Ms. Harai. Commissioners, any questions or comments?
Mr. Nishioka, I think the letter of protest was received by us after the preliminary hearing. Is that right in timing?
Yeah, I see it was received by Liquor on May 5th.
Right. I always ask the licensees or applicants when you have a protest if they make any effort to reach out to the protesting party. It's not an obligation, but my point is to see if you can work things out, be a good neighbor.
You know, honestly, Commissioner, in looking over this, I think the main concern of this party was no hostess type bars. So actually, we did not make an effort to reach out. You know, the applicant is a family style restaurant. If you look my last check on Yelp, they've been getting very positive reviews on their food.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. I would just be mindful of the concerns raised, notwithstanding what their intent was.
And to that extent, Commissioner, I have spoken to my client just to make sure that they control the noise if it becomes an issue. But at this point, you know, it hasn't been.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. A motion to approve agenda item number 9, application number 21-22875.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve application number 21-22875. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Application has been approved. Calling agenda item number 10, application number 21-22928 from, is it Trios Yachts LLC, Mr. Nishioka.
Again, good afternoon, Chair, Commissioners. Greg Nishioka appearing on behalf of the applicant. Also, I believe online is Zahiri, no, excuse me, I call him Chef Zizi. It's easier that way, but I believe he's online. And again, we did receive the protest, Commissioner. Again, this one's a little shorter. Again, it addresses mostly hostess bars, but just to address that issue, currently the restaurant it's a French style restaurant that serves breakfast and lunch and brunch at this point. They closed on at 2:30 every day. They're not open on Sundays. Some evening service is contemplated in the future, but it would end by 8:30 in the evening.
I'll note that's the same person protesting, but I think Ms. Harai needs to state something for the record.
I jumped the gun, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just need to get into the record, this application has received one written protest, 0 letters in support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Thank you, Ms. Harai.
A motion to approve agenda item number 10, application number 21-22928.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve agenda item number 21-22928. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Application has been approved. Thank you, Mr. Nishioka.
Thank you, Chair, Commissioners.
Okay, moving on to agenda item number 11, application number 21-22984 from Bottleheads LLC.
Good afternoon, Commission. This is Seth Buckley appearing on behalf of the applicant Bottleheads LLC. With me this afternoon are the owners, Scott William and Courtney Squirto. We have reviewed the investigative report and we have no comments or questions or changes. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Harai.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. This application has received 3 written protests, 0 letters in support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Thank you. Mr. Buckley, I I don't know if you have this, but did you see the amount of people that have petitioned against the license?
Yes, we have received and read the protest letter that was submitted. We can comment on that if the commission would like us to.
It's not necessarily the letter, it's a petition that's been signed by 8 individuals against issuing the license for your for your client.
We are aware, we saw those signatures, and in fact, we've had correspondence with some of them, which we can describe in more detail if you would like.
Yes, please.
In that case, I'll turn it over to the owners who had that conversation with them.
Yes, this is Scott Wiggum. One of the protesters actually came to our store yesterday and speaking about her family, which I think is 5 of those signatures, just wanted to meet us in person, reiterate their concerns, and we took the time to show her the store, make her feel welcome, and in addressing them, explained our concept for their interpretation of us as far as homelessness, crime, inebriated people staggering by their doors. And in doing so, if I could just add, we don't have late hours. We're not really a bar. We're only open till 8 at night when there's other places around us that are open much later. There's no cocktails or actual bar in the establishment. It's just 5 tables for wines by the glass and appetizers, and then a separate retail store. And as far as addressing homelessness and crime in that area in Kailua, although not very busy with pedestrians at night, we hope to change that. And one of the ways we've changed it is our store is completely encased in windows. We have painted it completely bright and are going to light up the night versus have any kind of concern with darkness or dark corners. Us being who we are as both having families, we're just committed to being outstanding, responsible neighbors. She totally understood that, was going to take that back to her housing development, talk to the general manager, who was also one of her people who signed on it, and her daughter, who was one of the family who would also sign on it. So we think we addressed it, and we feel very committed to just who we are doing that. And I don't think she left with any concerns except saying that she prefers a glass of wine now and then.
Perfect, thank you. Commissioners, any other questions or comments?
Motion to approve agenda item number 11, application number 21-22984.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve application number 21-22984. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Application is approved.
Thank you, Commission.
Calling agenda item number 12, application number 21-22985 from Bottleheads LLC. Mr. Buckley.
Good afternoon, Commission. This is Seth Buckley appearing on behalf of the applicant Bottleheads LLC. With me are the owners, Scott Wiggum and Courtney Squirtle.
Thank you. Ms. Harai.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. This application has received 3 written protests, 0 letters of support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Commissioners, type of action.
Motion to approve agenda item number 12, application number 21-22985.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve application number 21-22985. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Application is approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commission.
Okay, going into preliminary hearing, calling agenda item number 13, transfer application number 21-22745 from Golrai Restaurant LLC. Ms. Wu.
Madam Chair and Commissioners, in your packets is a letter from the authorized representative requesting rescheduling of this matter to the July 1 meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Harai. Will take action.
Yes. A motion to continue agenda item number 13, transfer application number 2745 to July 1st, 2021.
Second.
It's been moved in second to continue agenda item 13, transfer application number 21-22745 for July 1st, 2021. Any objection? Any reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. The matter of agenda item 13 has been continued. Calling agenda item number 14, transfer application number 21-23098 from Keach Ohana LLC, DBA Brood. Mr. Kiuchi.
Good afternoon again, Madam Chair, members of the Commission. Keith Kiuchi for the applicant. Mr. Keach apparently couldn't locate my office, so we'll proceed without them and have him here for the public hearing. We have no additions or corrections to the investigator's report.
Thank you, Mr. Kiuchi. Commissioners, type of action.
Mr. Kiuchi, I do have one comment. I see your clients don't really have any liquor experience.
Yes, he's going to be hiring. He retained most of Mr. Tarantua's staff, so his staff is very experienced. Mr. Tarantua, before he shut down Real Gastro Club, was really running Real and wasn't running Brood as much. So he's got a pretty experienced staff. I talked to Mr. Keach about it, and he's going to be very dependent upon that staff. But yeah, that's a good question, and I've already had that conversation.
Okay, great. And you assume you're going to be educating them as well on the process.
Yeah, I'm going to have to.
Okay, thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. Kiuchi. Motion to approve agenda item number 14, transfer application number 21-23098.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve transfer application number 21-23098. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Transfer application is approved. Thank you, Mr. Kiuchi.
Thank you. Just so the commission knows, I have some adjudication matters that Ms. Choi is going to be continuing. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I guess it's good night for you then.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kiuchi.
Make him stay.
Right.
Calling agenda item number 15, application number 21-22015 from BSP LLC. Mr. Luke.
Yes, may the record reflect Wayne Luke as counsel for the applicant. Today I'll be acting as the authorized representative. I will ensure that the applicant be here at the public hearing. We have no changes to the investigator's report.
Okay. Mr. Luke, I did have some questions, but I'll reserve it for public hearing when your client
Okay.
is present.
Sure.
Commissioners, any questions or type of action?
Yes, sure. Motion to approve agenda item number 15, application number 21-22015.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve application number 21-22015. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Application has been approved. Thank you, Mr. Luke.
Thank you.
Okay, calling agenda item number 16, application number 21-22022 from DR Coffee Inc.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. This is Ross Huehara Tolton for the applicant. The only change I have to the investigative report is it noted that the business was planning to be closed on Sunday, but we actually plan to be open on Sundays, the same hours as on Saturday. Other than that, I have no changes and would be willing to answer any questions.
Okay. Miss, oh, go ahead.
I do have one question. Just your, so you're proposing to serve coffee beverages with alcohol? Is that the extent of your menu?
That's correct. The primary intent is not to become a full bar or anything like that. We are primarily a specialty coffee shop, and there's a movement or an interest to enable our coffee drinkers to enjoy their favorite daytime beverage in a new and different way. So primarily we're looking to introduce this additional ingredient to our coffee drinkers. Although we will have some limited beer and wine service as well, just for other patrons who may not be interested in drinking coffee during the evening time.
Could I get clarification, sir? So when you mentioned Sundays will be open, it would be consistent with your Friday, Saturday schedule?
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions or type of action?
A motion to approve agenda item number 16, application number 21-22022.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve application number 21-22022. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Application is approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, calling agenda item number 17, application number 21-22471 from Pint Size Hawaii Manager LLC. Ms. Ohira.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, sorry. This is the first time I'm using this hearing room we've set up. Good afternoon, Christina Ohira, appearing on behalf of the applicant, Pint Size Hawaii Manager. With me is Sandra Hamada. She is the manager of the applicant. I want to be respectful of the time, and I know there's a long agenda today, so I had submitted prior response to the investigator's report. So I think it probably would be best if I just let you guys ask me questions instead of reiterating all the things we wrote.
Thank you, Ms. Ohira. I think that would be the best way to proceed. Commissioner, shall I start or shall, okay. Okay, okay, so Ms. Ohira, I diligently went through both responses on behalf of our investigator as well as your comments and thought process behind the justification on some things. Bear with me because it's a lot to take on basically, but let's get into it here. So I'm gonna base it off on your letter and bounce it back to what the investigator and what the issue is. And one of the first things that was brought to our attention or caught my attention was basically which is, let me see, specifically number 2 on your letter, page 2. I guess what's happening here, according to our investigator, or is the trade name. So according to the investigator's report, he's claiming that the trade name is not assigned to the applicant from May 4, 2016 to May 3rd, 2021. The registered trade name was assigned to the Pint Size Corp. I reviewed your response and I had to diagram and get this correct to understand what's happening here. So if you could follow me on this, it's my understanding that the Pint Size Corp was merged with Pint Size Hawaii on June 13, 2016, as you provided in Exhibit 1. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. So known then after, right? So from 6/13/2016, I'm assuming that you should be known then after 2016 as Pint Size Hawaii LLC from the merge.
Yes.
Is that correct?
The surviving entity was Pint Size Hawaii LLC.
Okay. So the surviving entity did not register, or did the registered trade name was assigned to the Pint Size Corporation till 2021. So I think that's where the confusion is happening, is I'm assuming based on a surviving entity, it should have been Pint Size Hawaii LLC. However, it's being registered, the trade name is the Pint Size Corporation, to which I thought was merged. So can you explain that?
Yeah, so I can't explain the DCCA records, but in terms of what happened on the corporate side and where the trade name resides currently, the trade name is held by Pint Size Hawaii LLC because the Pint Size Corporation no longer exists. It was merged into Pint Size Hawaii LLC. Pint Size Hawaii LLC is the surviving entity, so they hold the rights to that trade name, and that trade name was then licensed to the applicant.
Okay, so why would that trade name be held till 2021? Why wasn't it changed to the current Pint Size Hawaii LLC?
Actually, I believe it is held by Pint Size Hawaii LLC. So I have to figure out what is going on with the DCCA records. But like I said, Pint Size Hawaii Corporation no longer exists, and all of its assets are held by Pint Size Hawaii LLC. I can actually, and I believe we submitted the trade name application.
No, I don't have that as part of the exhibits that you provided.
Oh, it was part of the application packet, the evidence of the trade name ownership.
Okay, so while you're researching that, or that's an open question, and I think that's what's happening. A lot has happened, and we're now down to Pint Size Hawaii LLC and Pint Size Hawaii Manager LLC, which is clearly one is an owner and one is a manager. That kind of condenses it down. The issue of that comes up with the commingling. Go ahead, Ms. Ohira.
I just pulled it up on the DCCA website. So actually, the trade name, Pint Size Hawaii, is in fact registered to Pint Size Hawaii LLC. So it is actually correct on the DCCA as well.
Okay, and that was effective when?
It actually was just renewed on June 16, 2026, but its registration date was, its re-registration was June 17th, 2021. And I think what you might be touching upon, or what you might have just kind of shed light on, is given the timing, so trade names expire every 5 years, right? So when the merger occurred, the trade name was not yet up for renewal. So when it was renewed, they renewed it under the quote unquote new name of the entity, since it was merged to Pint Size Hawaii LLC.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Regarding on the commingling of funds, on your response, now, so they've been, remind me now, I'm believing you're going by this from 2016 to current. Your claim is that people are still remitting payments to 4 different business entities, and that's normal practice, or what is your position on that?
So what is seen in, so when people pay invoices, if they pay via ACH or EDI, they put the account number and supposedly the name of the account that they're paying to, right? So this entity has been in business for numerous years, and so some of the older clients still, despite our reminders, still send their ACH or their EDI with Pint Size Corporation. Because the bank knows that used to be the entity name, they'll let those payments through, and similar other names. So we've told people, Pint Size Hawaii LLC, but a lot of people just assume things are corporations. They'll throw Inc. at the end of anything. They're clearly not being careful, and we have reminded our customers of this. We don't necessarily want to reject their payments because they got the name wrong when they do have the account number right. And also, rejecting a customer's payment isn't necessarily the right thing to do. But we'll try to be more vigilant about it and police our customers better. But all these names are acceptable to the bank, especially when they have the correct account number.
Ms. Ohira, I'm just speaking on a business point of view. Normally, when there is a surviving company or any type of merger, most banks close the account and reopen it in the merged name or a corrected name to avoid situations like that. Is that what you're claiming is a situation here? Is that you held the original account number and did a name change after that?
Yes, Sandra's nodding yes, so it's the same account as when it was Pint Size Corporation, but you'll see from the bank statement, the name has been changed to Pint Size Hawaii LLC.
And I'm assuming that on the authorization cards, then on the question of who has authorization on that bank account, it's including the manager or somebody from the manager LLC who's authorized to access these funds per the agreement, right?
Yes, manager is authorized to access these funds, and specifically Sandra, as the manager has, is able to issue payments from these accounts and confirm payments that go into the accounts.
I don't know if you have this, but on the investigator report, I found on Exhibit E, and I'm trying to understand where investigators are coming from and where they're coming up with this, is it seems like looking at the transactions, for example, Exhibit E, page 6 of the bank statement on April 2nd, you guys are making ACH payments to yourselves. It's going out and it's going to an outside account. If you can see that, it's Pint Size Hawaii ACH payment is being debited to Pint Size Hawaii back out.
Sorry, are you able to share screen for that, or?
Exhibit E on the investigative report on the ASB statement.
You know what, I think my assistant may have printed, the investigative report without the exhibits. If you could give me a moment, I'll have to run and grab that.
Okay.
looking for her.
I think Christina went to go get the document. Oh, but I kind of pulled it up, and then I think on the top it says Pine Size Hawaii ACH payment.
It says Pine Size Hawaii ACH payment.
Yeah, that's just the generic whatever comes in from the bank. It didn't go. It's not actually a payment to Pine Size Hawaii.
What would that payment be for then? Because it's a subtraction. Your
Yeah,
other
so-
payments are clear as far as what it was for.
Yeah, so those are normally when we do a ACH payment through the bank, and they it's normally pays to suppliers or whoever we do ACH on, and for some reason we cannot get on the statement the description of who it's paying.
Okay, since we're on that page, do you guys have any other bank accounts with American Savings carrying Pine Size Hawaii or any affiliated other accounts?
We have a sweep account that we stop though, but what the excess cash that used to from this main account goes and sweeps to that account and then comes back in every day.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm seeing here with that Pint Size Corp, that ACH that you're seeing. I see your invoices being cut, which is consistent with what you're saying. However, with these payments that you're claiming and the frequency that it's happening, and it's being credited, and if you look at the numbers, the verification codes on the side of it, that's what verifies the transaction. Most of the time, that's a partial account number attached to it, and that's normally affiliated in-house. So that's why I asked the question, if there is another bank account that you have at ASB that is moving on its own, and if it's normally the sweep account, you're correct, it does work that way. If the other account is flowing short, it automatically sweeps money so it doesn't overdraft or it pays on the other items. So is that the type of operation that you have going on?
Well, we do have a sweep account, but it's not to fund, it's to invest on a daily basis, but we stopped that a couple months ago.
Okay, this is as of April,
Well, that
so
would be so maybe this is the sweep account. This is April, and it's June now. So maybe this is the sweep account.
No, it's not. These are actually payments to suppliers. It's just that when we do it, it doesn't show on the bank statement like that. So if you see if it's generated via the vendor, you'll see their name.
yeah, like if you look at April 5th, you'll see EIPP EDI notices and invoices, which is created by your AP, Carla Duduat. That's a payment on an invoice. So you see how it says detailed on there?
Which date is that?
April 5th.
Yeah, so that is done through it's a vendor's website.
And it's paying a bill, right?
Correct.
Okay, so you see how it says that that's an invoice, that it's being invoiced to you folks and it's going out. The other ones is my concern, is that...
Yeah, those we do through the American Savings website.
Okay, it just doesn't say where it's going or where...
No.
Okay, maybe what you can do then to minimize the situation of commingling of accounts, let me ask you this another question. What was the intent with opening the manager account if you guys weren't going to use it? Because your agreement covers it and says the manager can use this account. So what was the intent with opening another ASB account if you guys weren't going to use it?
So that account is for the manager if the manager has an expense that is purely managers. Up to this point, there hasn't been any, but we wanted to make sure that the manager had its own funds.
Ms. O'Hara, your agreement covers that, everything from payroll to operational. In what exception would that be on?
Oh, I mean, like if the manager entity had its own, had an expense of its own to pay something for. In other words, because theoretically the management entity is its own entity, so if it had like, its own fees that it needed to pay maybe for whatever reason, it could take it out of that account. But if that account is troublesome to the commission, we're happy to close that account. I just thought it would be good to have the manager have its own account with some money in it.
So I'm assuming this was open to facilitate the liquor license, in other words.
Yes, that account was opened when they first applied for the license for the Ualena Street location.
And this account is mentioned, or the use of this account is mentioned in your agreement? For that exception to the rule, is that what you're saying?
Sorry, the exception to, what do you mean the exception to the rule?
Because your other agreement covers on the expenses that would be approved, that the manager could use the other funds. I'm assuming that you have something in writing that says what the conditions and uses would be for them to use this own manager account. Is there anything other than opening this just for the liquor license?
No, it was primarily opened when we applied for the Ualena Street license so that we could show that the manager entity had funds. Because if we were to submit that application with an entity that had no bank account, I think that would have been more problematic.
Okay, but they never use these funds, correct?
They haven't yet needed to use them, correct. But like I said, if it's kind of like money where if they did have an expense that was purely managers, not covered by the agreement, they would have money for such purpose.
Okay. I have no other questions. Commissioners, do you guys have any other questions?
Yes, I kind of want to go back to Chair Gannabon's questions on what appears to be some sort of internal transaction. And I heard from Ms. Hamada that these transactions are generated in-house, is that correct?
It's generated via the
The
American,
ASBs.
yeah.
So
website.
I think and I want to say we appreciate you guys taking a careful look at this because it's really brought up things that maybe we should bring up with ASB as well. But so if we pay a bill via a vendor's website, that gets pulled into the statement and will show. But for whatever reason, and it could just be ASB isn't set up for it. But if we pay a vendor through ASB's website, it apparently looks like this, where it appears that we've sent an ACH to ourselves, but we haven't. We're paying a vendor through the ASB website.
Okay, so the actual question I have is, do you have supporting documents to show the payment to the vendor, some sort of accounting for that, to be able to reconcile what you just said?
Correct. So on the ASB website, there is where we submit the payment. It will tell you who we're submitting the payment to.
Okay, so let's use one as an example. On Exhibit E, page 8 at the top, if you can look at April 5/21, there's a payment of 51,000 and change. Do you guys see that?
Yes.
Are you able to provide us with the backup documents to show what vendor that payment was made to, so that we have more assurances that these are not just some sort of internal transaction?
Yes. I can tell you who it was paid. You actually need to see the invoices it was paid to also.
So could you
Or just that, who it was paid to.
Right, and could you give us at least some examples of that to show how you reconcile internally that these are in fact vendor payments?
Yep, I can show you that. And normally to do a ACH on the website, you need dual authorizations. So we do have someone putting it in with a code, and then someone else has to, it's double approval.
Okay, that would be helpful if you can provide us with some of that information.
Sure.
Thank you.
So you want it specific for this one and a couple more?
Yeah, maybe just a few. Why don't we start with this in particular and then a couple more?
Sure.
Thank you.
A motion to convene into executive session.
Second.
It's been moved in second to convene into executive session. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. We are now in executive session. Okay, we're back on the record. I'm gonna recall the agenda item. Recalling agenda item number 17, application number 21-22471 from Pine Size Hawaii manager, Ms. Ohira and Ms. Hamada, are you there?
Yes, good afternoon, Commissioners.
Okay. Before we get into a type of action, because this is such a, there's a lot of concerns on this application and all kinds of, discrepancies here. I just wanna reiterate on the request that, Commissioner Miyashiro made, which is we'd like to, please provide to the commission, detailed transactions specifically on that April 5, 2021 issue, with the ACH payments. If you could provide backup on that and just anything that would help us navigate through this and make sure that there is, the commingling of funds is not an issue and that we can move on after that. What would be helpful, which it seems like you have an excellent relationship with your bank, is if your bank also attests to that and can provide you a letter stating that these are the only accounts that you have, which would be the ones that you included here. That was provided in exhibits, that was with Pine Size Hawaii manager as well as Pine Size Hawaii LLC and any other known entities that is questionable right now, which is not limited or will limit you to. It's Pine Size Hawaii LLC, Pine Size Hawaii Manager LLC. We're looking at, even if you have anything in Pine Size Corp, which I'm assuming you don't, but any other entities and accounts, if the bank can attest to that and vouch that these are just the 3 accounts that you have, then that would clear up a lot of things right now. Is that understood, Ms. Ohira?
Yes, we can get clarification on the bank accounts from ASB. Would a letter from somebody at ASB be sufficient, or are you looking for an actual affidavit?
It's an actual letter is okay. They call it a, I believe they call it a verification of deposit. And what they do is, yeah, it's a VOD, and they actually, they redact the account numbers, but they put the entity names on it. And that's more or less like for credit reference, that type of thing. But they do redact the account numbers. But if they attest to saying that you only have these, by the looks of this, it's 2 accounts, correct? According to this, it's 2 accounts that was disclosed to us.
Oh, even the Pine Size Hawaii manager account, that separate account, and then the Pine Size Hawaii LLC.
Yes. So it looks like you only have 2. Based on what Ms. Hamada said, there was a sweep account used to be. If they can vouch that and say it's closed and it's no longer functional, or what have you, or even if it is functional still, then what name and entity is it under? Because we want to establish that there's no other entities out there receiving payments, that you guys are functioning just through the so-called owner account, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just needed to clarify that there was a corp account and then we did open the Pine Size. So there was a separate account.
Okay, so the corp account, I'm assuming, was closed or still open?
It's still open, due to, we needed to, keep funds in there due to, I guess, the agreement with the new owners, the new investment. But we are trying to close it out. So it has funds in there. But
I'm
yeah,
sorry,
the
I'm
activity
confused.
is only with Pine Size Corp.
Okay, I'm confused, because like I said, I thought Pine Size Corp was merged. Wasn't it merged and the successorship of it in 2016 should have
Yeah.
been?
I think my client is getting a little confused. Pint Size Corporation was merged and no longer exists.
Correct.
So I think she might be conflating some things, but we can get a VOD, confirm the sweep account was closed. I believe we had to file paperwork, right, to close the sweep account.
No, the sweep is with Hawaii. It's Hawaii.
Oh, I thought you said you closed it a couple months ago.
Yeah, we closed that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so there would be documentation showing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can provide documentation showing the sweep account was closed and the verification of deposit to confirm that the accounts that exist are for Pint Size Hawaii Manager and for Pint Size Hawaii LLC.
Correct. Correct. Okay, just so we understand. Any other requests, commissioners? Okay, type of action.
Chair, motion to approve application number 21-22471.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve application number 21-22471. Any objection? Any with reservation? Chair votes aye. Application is approved. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Okay, calling agenda item number 18, transfer application number 21-22604 from LP Hawaii Corporation, Mr. Gota.
Good afternoon, members of the Commission. Neil Gota, appearing on behalf of LP Hawaii Corporation. Appearing with me is Alyssa Wailehua, the owner. We have no changes to the investigative report. Applicant does understand that because this is a transfer application, any pending adjudication matters would have to be resolved prior to the transfer.
Thank you, Mr. Gota.
Mr. Gota, I do have one question. Under the fingerprinting, I think Alyssa's last name is incorrect. Is that accurate?
Oh, correct. Yes, you're right. I missed that.
Okay.
So it should be Alyssa Wailehua.
Yes, okay.
Okay, duly noted. Commissioners, any other questions or comments?
Motion to approve application, agenda item 18, application number 21-22604.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve transfer application number 21-22604. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Application is approved.
Thank you very much.
Okay, moving on
Thank
to.
you.
Oh, okay. Don't know what that was. All right, moving on to agenda item number 19. Application number 21-22685 from TLAX Cali LLC, Mr. Luke.
Yes, may the record reflect Wayne Luke as counsel for the applicant. To my right is the member, Than Truk C. Santa Cruz. We have no corrections to the investigators.
Thank you, Mr. Luke. Commissioners, any questions or comments from Mr. Luke?
Oh, yes, Mr. Luke, just have a question. We got your documentation stating that, Mr. Gutierrez, would be removing himself from the LLC. What is the status of that with DCCA, as it still seems pending that he is part of
He is
that?
removed because he has a prohibition to be on a liquor license. He had a, I think it was an altercation when he was very young, and that remains on his record. So he
Correct.
cannot,
Yes.
as long as there's a liquor license, he cannot be put on back on the LLC.
So my question to you is the LLC still shows him as a member. What is the status on having him removed from
What is the question?
the LLC, as registered, still shows him as a member of the LLC. So there are still members, there are still two members, shown. What is the status of having him removed?
That will be changed, that will change when they file the annual exhibit. With the DCCA, you only have to report, you do not have to report every change of officer. You only have to change it, report once a year when you file your annual filings. So he will be removed when we get our annual filing. He has sent a letter of resignation in, and the commission has it.
I mean, okay, you sent the letter to us, which is, I think it is okay for the record. But the official filing, as you mentioned with DCA, still stands.
Yes. But, you know, if you want us, we can do it with DCCA, but it's not a DCCA requirement. The requirement is filing once a year.
Yeah, I would prefer if you can arrange that, Mr. Luke, before public hearing.
Yes, okay. We'll remove it then.
Thank you.
Prior to public hearing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Luke. Okay, commissioners.
Motion to approve agenda item number 19, application number 21-22685.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve application number 21-22685. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Application is approved. Thank you, Mr. Luke.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to agenda item number 20, application number 21-22905 from Paradise Ciders LLC.
Thank you.
Good evening, Commission. Casey Solheim, LLC member representing Paradise Ciders.
Thank you, Mr. Solheim.
Mr. Solheim, I do have one question for you. You are changing your license classification, but you're proposing not to have a bar or any on-premise consumption. Could you kind of brief us on your intentions of the licensing classification?
Absolutely. Our intentions are to change our type of liquor license at our currently licensed location because it's my understanding that in order to open a second location, we need to have matching liquor licenses for both locations. So where we stand right now at 2003 Colburn Street is purely for manufacturing, but we do want to open a full tap room in a satellite location up in Mililani. And after talking to the people helping me at the commission and researching the laws, this is the way that I was instructed to do it. That being said, we would like to reserve the ability to someday have a tap room reopened at the 2003 Colburn Street location with your approval. But for right now, with all the COVID stuff happening, really all we want is to get the satellite location open, and so that's our reasoning behind changing the type. And if I've been misinformed and that's not necessary,
I believe you are correct. So we just wanted something on the record. Okay, thank you.
And I have a question for you, if you don't mind. In order to do on-site consumption at the 2003 Colburn Street, would we need to do anything different with our liquor license, like send you a notification, or would it require another hearing, or?
Just refer him to us, and we can help him with that.
Mr. Solem, what I'm gonna do is, because this is a hearing, I'm gonna refer you over to the admin staff, and they'll go ahead and guide your request.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
I have one other request from the gentleman that's helping us with the mail outs and whatnot. He asked that we get sent a notice of hearing.
And you will get that, I believe, for the public hearing. This is a preliminary.
Okay.
But feel free to contact the administration if you have any further questions. Okay, motion is to approve agenda item number 20, application number 21-22905.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve application number 21-22905. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Application is approved. Thank you, Mr. Solham.
Have a great night.
Okay, calling agenda item number 21, application number 21-22932 from MC Concepts LLC. Mr. Luke, are you there?
The record reflect Wayne Luke as attorney for the applicant. To my right is John Matsubara, member. There are no corrections to the investigator's report.
Thank you, Mr. Luke.
Motion to approve agenda item 21, application number 21-22932.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve application number 21-22932. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Application's approved. Thank you, Mr. Luke.
Thank you.
Okay, calling agenda item 22, application number 21-23052 from Magoo's Pizza and Bar, Mr. Gota.
Good afternoon, members of the Commission. Neil Gota, appearing on behalf of Magoo's Pizza and Bar, Honolulu, LLC. Appearing with me is Keikoa Ornelas, the Vice President. We have no changes to the investigative report.
Thank you, Mr. Gota.
A motion to approve agenda item 22, application number 21-23052.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve application number 21-23052. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Application's approved. Thank you, Mr. Gota.
Thank you very much.
Calling agenda item number 23, application number 21-23075 from Skybox Tap House Incorporated.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Keith Suzuka on behalf of the applicant, Skybox Tap House, Inc. I believe on the line is Mayuko Farinas, the owner, as well as her husband, Alan Farinas. We've read the investigative report and just have one item that we'd like to clarify. On the noise impact evaluation that was prepared by investigator Tamakua Homer, in the remarks section, it says that no live music at this time, pre-recorded music within patio waiting area of the proposed premises. We do intend to, when somebody does want to have an event that has live music, to allow that to take place. So I just wanted to clarify that our request is for live music and dancing. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Mr. Suzuka, where are you referring to?
It's in the Exhibit C to the investigative report, and it's the notice impact evaluation.
Yes.
At the very bottom, remarks.
Yeah, got it. It doesn't conflict with anything else. Okay.
If we could get the two individuals that appear, if you could enter your appearance, state your name.
Oh,
Yeah,
my name is Alan Farinas.
and your,
Oh, Mayuko Farinas.
thank you.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, let the record reflect that both individuals appeared before us and Mr. Suzuka is online. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that, Mr. Suzuka.
Thank you.
Motion is to approve agenda item 23, application number 21-23075.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve application number 21-23075. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Application is approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, calling agenda item number 24, application number 21-23351 from Sodexo America LLC, Mr. Bao.
Patrick Baugh, General Manager and Authorized Agent for Sodexo. Also online is Justin Solasad, Concessions Manager and Authorized Agent. This is a catering license for the Waikiki Show for the Honolulu Symphony Twilight Series, the continuing ones which we have done previously.
You said we have a Justin online? Is it Justin?
Yes, Justin Solusad,
Please spell your
Authorized
last name,
Agent.
please.
Solusod.
Thank you.
You're
Mr. Bao, I know this is, you did, other requests like this, I think 2 other requests previously. How did those events go?
Smooth. The attendance grows every week, but it's still the older crowd. 300 was the last. These ones expect more. And they're actually one of the events coming up. They're looking at to do something with the Lily Kalani Trust to bring some families and students to it and stuff. So they're going well. In the application, we put multiple locations for service and the max number of people, but we've actually only operated with one. Our employees wearing masks, have social distancing signs, everything's outside, but they're going smoothly, timely. There's only service up till 7 o'clock actually, because they don't have intermission right now. So it's a shorter service window than requested, but everything's going well. Except for the birds. There's a bird problem that has nothing to do with alcohol, but it's on the stage.
Thank you. That's good to know. So don't sit under any trees, in other words. Okay, got you.
For the performers. The performers are not too happy with their instruments getting pooped on. So.
Oh my God.
Mr. Ball, I have a slightly more serious question. So, I may have missed it, but in the documents, I see number of security, and I'm gonna quote, it states Sodexo APX 1-3, and I did not see anything in the attached plan. Maybe I missed it, but what does that mean?
Approximately 1 to 3 security personnel that kind of go through. Myself or Justin, one acts as the manager, sometimes the other will act as security. It's just because the property has the lawn and stuff, and they are spread out. They have to stay 6 feet apart in pods and stuff, but we do kind of walk through and make sure that no one is, bringing their own alcohol in or drinking, unauthorized. So we have, the checkpoints where we're checking ID and verifying, you're of age and everything. And then we'll kind of walk throughout the property to make sure that, those. Once the performance starts, no one gets up anyway. So it's really just before we're kind of making sure everybody, is doing their due diligence.
Okay, you folks have HPD as well?
They do not have HPD at this one because it's the symphony. Again, it's an older crowd, skews towards, median, in the 50s. So there is no HPD at this one.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Motion to approve agenda item 24, application number 23-23351.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve application number 21-23351. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Application's approved. Calling agenda item number 25, application number 21-23352. Mr. Ball, please enter your appearance again.
Patrick Baugh, General Manager and Authorized Agent for Sodexo, along with Justin Solasad, Concessions Manager and Authorized Agent. Again, a request for catering for the Waikiki Show for the Honolulu Symphony Twilight events.
Thank you.
Okay, motion to approve agenda item 25, application number 21-23352.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve application number 21-23352. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Application is approved. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, moving into agenda item 26, stock transfer application number 21-22736 from Cajun King.
Good afternoon, this is Lisa Cato, CPA. I'm representing Cajun King for the stock transfer ownership.
Thank you, Ms. Cato.
Motion to approve agenda item 26, application number 21-22736.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve application number 21-22736. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Stock transfer application is approved. Thank you, Ms. Cato.
Thank you very much.
Calling agenda item number 27, request number 21-22754 from FG Restaurant LLC. Anybody there? Gonna recall the matter again. Agenda item number
Okay.
27, request number 21-22754 from FG Restaurant LLC. Okay, seeing none, we'll place this aside and double check if anybody else, if they come in to appear. Doug, you see anything? Okay. Oh, okay. sorry, we have somebody online, okay.
Hi, this is Shigeru Kikuchi from TR Fire Grill. I'm the district manager of WDI International. I am having Kenneth Ho. He's having a difficulty to use a microphone right now, so please give us a moment.
I'm sorry, what was your name, sir?
Shige Kikuchi,
Please spell.
Kikuchi, Kikuchi.
Okay.
The first name Shigeru, Shigeru.
Oh, this is Kenneth Hu. Can you hear me now?
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Hu.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was talking by myself. So Mr. Kikuchi introduced himself. He's a manager for licensee. This is a consideration of a notification for removal of a member. Originally, the licensee had 2 members as an LLC. Over time, one of the members' membership interest slowly dwindled for lack of making its capital contribution. So at this point, there's only one member that has membership interest because of that. And so therefore, we filed that notification to show that change.
Thank you, Mr. Hu.
Motion to approve agenda item 27, request number 21-22754.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve request number 21-22754. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. This request is approved. Thank you, Mr. Hu.
Thank you very much.
Okay, everybody, thank you for your patience. We're getting there. Calling agenda item number 28, request number 21-23333 from White Sands Owner LLC.
Good afternoon. My name is Chuck Bustler. With me is Dave Power. I'm the operator, and Dave is main bar, and he can answer any sort of technical questions you might have for our batching requests.
Okay, I'm sorry. Mr. Bustler, go ahead and spell your last name for us.
Sure. B as in boy, U-S-S-L-E-R.
And the other gentleman with you?
Dave, unmute.
Sorry about that. My name is David Power. Last name is spelled P-O-W-E-R, like electricity.
Thank you, gentlemen. Commissioners, you guys have any questions?
Yes, either of you gentlemen. So we've had some of these applications before, and I know you outlined in part what you plan on doing in terms of making sure that the batches are safe, they're sanitary, and if you could just walk us through what that plan is and elaborate on that, please.
Yeah, sure. The purpose of the batching is really for speed and efficiency and accuracy of sometimes what are complex recipes. So I'm just making sure everyone's making the same drink. The process will be using sanitized containers to blend large batches of cocktails, sort of a bottle at a time, and then transferring those back into containers that can be used at the bar, either bottles or in sanitized keg dispensing, so we can do cocktails on craft.
And how do you keep your inventory and make sure that your inventory is turned over at some point in time?
The batches are we're doing maybe we would be doing maybe 2 to less than a week worth of batches. It's not going to be massive quantities. It'd be a few days worth.
Okay, and just to confirm, you're not going to add juices or fruits to the batches?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
So, gentlemen, just so you know, we do receive requests like this all the time. It's only subject to these drinks that you provided. So in the event it is approved, it's only subject to the following 6 drinks that's provided in your request. Is that understood?
Yes.
Yeah. So would that mean if we're doing any other cocktails or change the menu, say for seasonality or whenever, that would be an additional meeting?
Yes.
Motion to approve agenda item 28, request number 21-23333.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve request number 21-23333. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Your request is approved, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you. Calling agenda item number 29, request number 21-23340 from DB Grow 2. Mr. Gota.
Good afternoon, members of the Commission. Neil Gota, appearing on behalf of DB Grow 2 LLC. Appearing with me is Jennifer Akiyoshi, manager. We have no changes to the report.
Thank you.
Motion to approve agenda item 29, request number 21-23340.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve request number 21-23340. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Request is approved. Thank you, Mr. Gota.
Thank you very much.
Okay, calling agenda item number 30, request number 21-23346 from Honolulu Academy of Arts. Mr. Chu.
Good evening, Commissioner and members of the Commission. Meet and Chu on behalf of the requestor, Honolulu Museum of Art. I do have an update. Our second request to allow us to renew our license based on tax clearance issued under our former name. I just want to update you that the Department of Tax has updated its records, and so we no longer need that request. But we do want to get your approval for the official change of the name of the museum from the Honolulu Academy of Arts, DBA, the Honolulu Museum of Art, to just simply Honolulu Museum of Art.
Thank you,
Okay,
Mr.
thank you.
Chu.
My request is, my motion is to approve agenda item number 30, request number 21-23346. And this will apply to both requests, although council mentioned that he would like to drop.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve request number 21-23346. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Request is approved, Mr. Chu.
Thank you very much.
Calling agenda item 31, request number 21-23364 from Asia Kitchen Hawaii.
Yes, I'm Christopher Cody. Yep, our request is to extension of our premises for liquor license.
Mr. Cody, can you spell your first and last name, please?
It's Christopher. It's CHRISTOPHER.
Okay.
Last name is COTY.
T-Y. Got it.
A motion to approve agenda item 31, request number 21-23364.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve request number 21-23364. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Request is approved. Thank you, Mr. Cody.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, calling agenda item number 32. Request number 21-23316 from Miss Jessica Dos Santos on behalf of the Kahuku Community Association.
Aloha, good evening, commissioners. This is Jessica Dos Santos here to represent the Kahuku Community Association and its board. KCA would like to request a rehearing for the liquor licenses associated with Kahuku Beer Garden and Bottle Shop. Kahuku Community Association officially voted to oppose the beer garden to operate on May 14th. Therefore, KCA opposes both liquor applications for the beer garden and bottle shop and respectfully request the Liquor Commission to deny these two liquor license applications. The Kahuku Beer Garden LLC presented to the Kahuku Community Association general membership on April 20th, and during this meeting, community members voiced their opposition and concerns to the proposed business operating in Kahuku. The concerns include safety concerns due to the possibility for increased drunk driving on our notoriously dangerous rural roadways, increased negative effects on youth who witness alcohol consumption due to its close proximity of this beer garden to Kahuku Intermediate and High School, increased alcohol consumption in the community, higher end wine, fine wine, and craft beer and liquor are more expensive and tailored more towards tourists and not the local host community.
Ms. Dos Santos,
Yes.
I'm sorry. You don't have to reiterate that we have the letter before us.
Oh,
and
okay.
Yes, we have the request before us and we have the letter. We have reviewed the letter, so to save some time, we have it in front of us.
Okay.
We also have a bunch of support as well as protest letters on behalf of the licensee or the request that you're allowing. You do understand that this request is simply, you're requesting a rehearing of the license, and you know that the license has already been approved.
Correct.
However, I do have a question for you. It's my understanding that the applicant did appear at your meeting in April.
Correct.
Your normal procedures are you guys entertain a community member and then you guys vote on a subject at a subsequent meeting after? Is that the normal procedures?
Yes, we, our bylaws allow us to make votes at subsequent meetings.
So the item was tabled? Was the action tabled at the April meeting, or did it continue to the May meeting?
There was no action requested, actually. It was just an informational presentation.
Did you guys obtain, do you guys have minutes on that meeting?
Yes.
Okay. Because, okay. You guys have any other questions?
A motion to convene into executive session to speak with legal counsel.
Second.
It's been moved in second for us to convene into executive session. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none. Chair votes aye. We are now in executive session. Thank you. Okay, we are back on the record. Recalling agenda item number 32, request number 21-23316 from Ms. Jessica Dos Santos, Kahuku Community Association. Ms. Dos Santos, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you for being patient with us.
No
My
problem.
motion will be to deny agenda item 32, request number 21-23316.
Second.
It's been moved in second to deny request number 21-23316. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none. Chair votes aye. Request is denied. Thank you, Ms. Dos Santos.
Thank you.
Okay, calling agenda item number 33, request number 21-23353 from Mr. Luke on behalf of Lahaina Petroleum LLC. Mr. Luke.
Yes, may the record reflect Wayne Luke is representing Lahaina Petroleum LLC. The member that passed away, and until we get probate, we have to renew the license and all the gross sales report.
Thank you, Mr. Luke. Motion is going to be.
I'm sorry, can I ask one question?
What?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Sorry. Mr. Luke, when I looked at the letter, and I understand the reason for the request, but you indicate that you be provided authority to do all things necessary to operate the premises. How long do you think you need that authorization for?
Probably, this is California, so I think the hearing is probably in August, yeah.
Okay. Would it make sense if we limit it to some extent so you don't have some ongoing obligation personally?
Yes.
And what would make sense for you, given that it's...
No, right now, I think just having the authorization to renew and the authorization to follow gross sales report is enough. They
Okay.
have enough staff. Their
Okay.
staffing is, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
My motion is to approve agenda item 33, request number 21-23353.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve request number 21-23353. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Request is approved. Thank you, Mr. Luke. Calling agenda item number 34, request number 21-23354 from Mr. Luke on behalf of Hang Seol Chung, DBA Friendly Store.
Yes, Wayne Luke for the request, and it's the same as the above. And then all I really need is authorization to renew liquor and to file a gross sales report.
Thank you.
A motion to approve agenda item 34, request number 21-23354.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve request number 21-23354. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Request is approved. Thank you, Mr. Luke.
Thank you.
Calling agenda item number 35, request number 21-23379 from Mr. Jeremy Nguyen, Pearl Harbor, Honolulu Fleet Reserve.
Commissioner and fellow commissioners, my name is Jeremy Ewan. I'm the elected treasurer for FRA Branch 46, Pearl Harbor, Honolulu.
Okay, Mr. Nguyen, why don't you, you're requesting relief from the
Yes,
liquor
ma'am.
license fees.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, we would like to request a payment plan. We were mandatory shutdown 20 March 2020. We adhered to the mandatory shutdown from the statewide emergency shutdown. We are not fully operational yet. We are asking for relief at this time to try to get on a payment plan or whatever the commission sees fit for us to be able to get our liquor license back up and online.
Okay. Point of order, Miss Harai, this license is set to renew.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. Just for the record, our records indicate that the Club General License F0019 expired June 30 of last year and has not been renewed. Therefore, currently the former premises is considered an unlicensed establishment.
That is correct.
So, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. So we had roughly 101 days left on our liquor license once we shut down. We shut down, as I stated, on 20 March 2020. The liquor license expired on July 1st, June 30th, 2020. So we had roughly about 101 days left on our liquor license. But we have been completely shut down since then. And obviously unable to generate any revenue from our bar. We did change our business model. So we do rent out our premises for small businesses for obviously for business purposes, but we would like to plead our case to the commission to work with us to get our liquor license back up and running.
So, Mr. Nguyen, I think Ms. Harai had informed you that you don't currently have a license with us. So there is no action that we can take upon at this point. You don't have a license. It expired.
Yes, ma'am. That's why I was directed to this hearing, was to plead our case and ask for relief because our liquor license expired during the mandatory shutdown from the state of Hawaii.
Okay, I'll just, going further, if the commission is looking for a way to provide the requested relief to the former licensee, it would need to allow, waive a rule to permit the filing and renewal of the liquor license for the FY21 year, which would reinstate the license and assuming payment of license fees, filing of gross liquor sales, so on and so forth. And then which would, and then between now and next week, Thursday, permit them to go ahead and renew the license for the FY22 year. So there's basically kind of a back-to-back two activities that need to happen to get the liquor license in good standing again, is that they have to renew and complete a number of items for the FY '21 year, which is gonna end next Wednesday, and the renew for the upcoming year, FY '22, which will begin July 1.
And Ms. Hirai, you believe we can act on this agenda item in some fashion to achieve this, or?
It would probably be because typically this type of request identifies the rule that is being requested for waiver, which is 382 31.4B. And that's typically the waiver request made by licensees who have somehow failed to timely renew their liquor license.
Okay, so it looks like we may not be able to act on this agenda item. And Mr. Quinn, you may have to speak with our administration to put a different request in for another agenda item.
If I may interject, any directions at this point would be greatly appreciated.
Point of order, Ms. Horai, for the request is broad, any relief would be greatly appreciated. Is that sufficient for the agenda?
I'm gonna defer to your advisory council to see if her preference is that you go ahead and re-agenda the item next week with a specificity, or go ahead and respond to the general request, non-specific request for relief as it's currently stated.
Okay, our motion would be to convene into executive session. Speak with
Second.
legal counsel.
Second.
It's been moved in second to convene into executive session. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. We are now in executive session. We are back on the record. I will recall the matter, calling agenda item 35, request number 21-23379 from the Pearl Harbor Honolulu Fleet Reserve, Mr. Gwen, you there?
Mr. Quinn, can you?
Yes, ma'am.
Ready.
Our motion is, Mr. Quinn, our motion is gonna be to deny a request, agenda item 35, request number 21-23379. If you could please speak with the administration if you would like to get on another agenda with us.
Second.
It's been moved in
Wait a minute.
second. It's been moved in.
Sorry, can I ask for clarification on the movement one more time?
We move to deny this request.
The way that it's agendaed and the way that it's requested, we're gonna have to deny it, Mr. Nguyen. And then
Yes,
you need to work with administration, and then you can get your request corrected.
So the issue was with the request, how it was stipulated.
Yes.
Okay, it's been moved in second to deny request number 21-23379. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, request has been denied. Thank you. Okay, calling agenda item number 37, request number 21-23397 from Mr. Luke on behalf of Sushi King LLC. Mr. Luke.
Yes, Wayne Luke. Yes, in this case, the licensee lost their lease and it's closing now.
So withdraw.
Motion to approve agenda item 37, request number 21-23397.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve request number 21-23397. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Request is approved to withdraw. Calling agenda item number 38, request number 21-23398 from Mr. Luke on behalf of New Image Hawaii 2 Incorporated. Mr. Luke.
Yes, Wayne Luke as a requester, the applicants just do not wish to have liquor with their restaurant.
Thank you, Mr. Luke.
Thank you. Motion to approve agenda item 38, request number 21-23398.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve request number 21-23398. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. The request for withdrawal is approved. Thank you, Mr. Luke.
Thank you.
A motion for the adoption of decision and order, agenda items number 39 through 54 inclusive.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve the adoption of decision and order for agenda items number 39 through 58. 54. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. The adoption of decision and order has been approved. Going into the adjudication hearing.
Good evening, Commissioners Autumn. This is Deputy Corporation Counsel Monica Choi on behalf of the prosecution for all agenda items numbered 55 through 80.
Thank you, Ms. Choi. Calling the first adjudication hearing, first one, agenda item 55. Hasbro Bistro.
Hi, sorry, let me,
Thank you for your patience, ma'am.
thank you, sorry, I'm going somewhere where the dogs won't make noise. Hi, I'm Teresa Pikazu from Hasler Bistro.
Teresa, can you spell your last name, please?
Kakazu.
Thank you.
Well, Commissioners, I move to dismiss this charge because of a failure to prosecute. There has been a mistake. The prosecution has charged Hasler Bistro for a violation back in 2016 for a change in manager not being timely noticed, but because we did not prosecute it until now, we're moving to dismiss for the staleness of the charge.
Point of order, Ms. Wright, is it a motion to withdraw the agenda item?
I believe Corp Counsel is moving to dismiss.
So what action is needed on our end?
I think you either approve the dismissal.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Motion to approve the request for dismissal by the prosecution.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve the dismissal per legal counsel. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. This agenda item 55 is dismissed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, calling agenda item number 56, Eva Beach Golf Club.
Mr. Kyuchi is not here today. He's asking for a continuance to July 22nd, 2021. I have no objection to that.
So you said July 22nd?
Yes.
Motion to continue agenda item 56 to July 22nd, 2021.
Second.
It's been moved in second to continue agenda item 56 to July 22nd. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Agenda item 56 is continued to July 22nd, 2021. Calling agenda item number 57, CJ Lounge Incorporated.
Mr. Kyuchi also represents his licensee, but he is unable to attend today. He has requested a continuance to July 22nd, 2021. I have no objections.
Motion to continue agenda item 57 to July 22nd, 2021.
Second.
It's been moved in second to continue agenda item 57 to July 22nd, 2021. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Agenda item 57 is continued. Calling agenda item number 58. Once again, Halona Lounge.
Council is Keith Kyuchi for this as well. He asks for a continuance to July 22nd, 2021. I have no objection.
Thank you. Motion to continue agenda item 58 to July 22nd, 2021.
Second.
It's been moved in second to continue agenda item 58 to July 22nd, 2021. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Agenda 58 is continued to July 22nd. Calling agenda item 59, Salt and Pepper Cafe.
Mr. Luke represents Salt and Pepper Cafe, and he's not available to handle this matter until July 15, 2021. I have no objection to his request for continuance.
Motion to continue agenda item 59 to July 15, 2021.
Second.
Been moved in second to continue agenda item 59 to July 15, 2021. Any objection? Any with reservations? Seeing none, chair votes aye. The item is continued until July 15, 2021. Calling agenda item number 60, Salt and Pepper Cafe.
Mr. Luke also represents Salt and Pepper Cafe in this matter. He requests a continuance to July 15, 2021. I have no objection.
Motion to continue agenda item 60 to July 15, 2021.
Second.
It's been moved in second to continue agenda item 60 to July 15, 2021. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Agenda item 60 is continued. Calling agenda item 61, Salt and Pepper Cafe.
Mr. Luke requests a continuance to July 15, 2021. For this matter, I have no objection.
Motion to continue agenda item 61 to July 15, 2021.
Second.
It's been moved in second to continue agenda item 61 to July 15, 2021. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Agenda item 61 is continued. Calling agenda item number 62, Siam Paradise Restaurant and Sports Pub.
The prosecution and Mr. Luke move to continue this matter to July 29th, 2021 due to the fullness of the calendar for the month of July. Mr. Luke needs more time with his client, but seeing that the calendar is pretty full, we're going to request that all the Siam Paradise matters get moved to July 29th. So I have no objection.
Motion to continue agenda item 62 to July 29, 2021.
Second.
It's been moved in second to continue agenda item 62 to July 29, 2021. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. The matter is continued. Calling agenda item number 63, Siam Paradise Restaurant and Sports Pub.
In request by Mr. Luke, we request the matter be continued to July 29th, 2021.
Motion to continue agenda item 63 to July 29, 2021.
Second.
It's been moved in second to continue agenda item 63 to July 29, 2021. Any objections? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. The matter has been continued. Calling agenda item 64, Siam Paradise Restaurant.
Mr. Luke also requests this matter be continued to July 29, 2021, and the prosecution has no objection.
Thank you. Motion to continue agenda item 64 to July 29, 2021.
Second.
It's been moved in second to continue agenda item 64 to July 29, 2021. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Agenda item 64 is continued. Calling agenda item 65, Siam Paradise Restaurant.
Mr. Luke represents Siam Paradise in this matter as well. We're requesting continuance to July 29, 2021.
Motion to continue agenda item 65 to July 29, 2021.
Second.
It's been moved in second to continue agenda item 65 to July 29, 2021. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, the matter has been continued. Calling agenda item 66, Siam Restaurant.
Mr. Luke also requests a continuance to July 29, 2021. I have no objection.
Motion to continue agenda item 66 to July 29, 2021.
Second.
It's been moved in second to continue agenda item 66 to July 29, 2021. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. The matter has been continued. Calling agenda item 67, Siam Paradise Restaurant.
Mr. Luke requests a continuance to July 29, 2021. I have no objection.
Motion to continue agenda item 67 to July 29, 2021.
Second.
It's been moved in second to continue agenda item 67 to July 29, 2021. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. The matter is continued. Calling agenda item number 68, Lani Kai Brewing.
For Lani Kai Brewing, attorney Megan Powell was scheduled for a contested hearing last week. However, because it was pushed inadvertently to this week and she's not available, we're going to work with her on the next mutually available date for the contested hearing. So both parties have agreed to continue the matter to the next available date.
Thank you. Motion to continue agenda item 68 to the next available date.
Second.
It's been moved in second to continue agenda item 68 to the next available date. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. The matter has been continued. Calling agenda item 69, Romano's Macaroni Grill.
Mr. Terry Lee was here at the hearing, but he was unable to stay long enough. However, he apologizes. It's just that he couldn't stay long enough for his turn. It's a fairly minor violation. His client intends to plead no contest with an explanation. So we have agreed to continue this matter for July 29, 2021.
Motion to continue agenda item 69 to July 29, 2021.
Second.
It's been moved in second to continue agenda item 69 to July 29, 2021. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. The matter is continued. Calling agenda item number 70, Wanja Corporation, Platinum Lounge.
Mr. Kiuchi represents Platinum Lounge and needs more time. He requests a continuance to July 22nd, 2021. I have no objection.
Motion to continue agenda item 70 to July 29?
22nd.
22nd, 2021.
22nd.
Second.
It's been moved in second to continue agenda item 70 to July 22nd, 2021. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. The matter is continued. Calling agenda item 71, Dave & Buster's Hawaii. Ms. Choi?
Newton, are you gonna introduce yourself?
Oh, I was
Mr.
waiting.
Chu.
Okay, Newton Chu on behalf of the licensee.
Okay. Do you waive reading of the charge?
I
Mr.
waive reading of the charge, plead no contest.
Thank you, Mr. Chu. Motion
Good
to
evening.
accept the no contest plea.
Second.
It's been moved in second to accept the no contest plea for agenda item 71. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. The no contest plea is accepted.
Ms. Choi, what's your recommendation?
This is a first-time violation of the mayor's emergency order. It was during Tier 3. The investigators inspected the premises and noted that the gaming machines were not being cleaned between users, between gaming users, and also that there were groups that were intermingling and sharing appetizers and not keeping within their seated designated areas. My recommended fine is $500.
Thank you, Mr. Chu.
Yes, just so you know, Dave & Buster's operates 110 restaurants throughout the United States, so there's no ill will on behalf of the licensee to violate any of our laws here in Hawaii. It is unfortunate that this happened, and they apologize for that. And as you know, the continuing COVID situation and the changes in the laws, we're working diligently to abide by them. And we humbly ask you to accept our no contest plea.
Thank you. Motion to approve the recommended fine of $500 for agenda item 71.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve the recommended fine of $500. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. The penalty of $500 is imposed. Thank you, Mr. Chu.
Thank you.
Calling
Good night,
agenda
everyone.
item number 72, Kaya Store Incorporated.
Hello, can you state your name for the record, please?
Beverly Hashimoto, Beverly Hashimoto.
Ms. Choi?
Ms. Hashimoto, on or about September 8, 2011, and or during the period between August 9, 2011 and October 21st, 2020, in the city and county of Honolulu, state of Hawaii, licensee failed to obtain approval from the commission in writing prior to any change in ownership of 25% or more of the stock, or any change in ownership resulting in the transferee becoming the owner of 25% or more of the outstanding stock, in violation of section 281-41I of the Hawaii Revised Statutes.
Ms. Hashimoto, how do you wish to plead?
Guilty.
Motion to accept the plea.
Second.
It's been moved in second to accept the plea. Any objection? Any with reservation? Hearing none, chair votes aye to accept the plea.
Ms. Choi, what's your recommendation, please?
This is a first-time violation. My recommended fine is $500. On August 11, 2011, there was a transfer of 51% of the stock from William Kaya to Trustee Beverly Hashimoto, and it was not given prior written approval by the commission.
Do you have any records of how the commission learned of the violation?
I believe we did a check with the DCCA. I'm sorry, hold on. Yeah, we checked on the status of the corporation with the DCCA, and that's how we found out. Also, there was a stock transfer application done on October 21st, 2020.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Hashimoto, do you have any comments or explanation for the charge? Motion to approve the recommended fine of $500 for agenda item 72.
Second?
It's been moved in second to approve the recommended fine of $500. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. The penalty of $500 is imposed. Thank you, Ms. Hashimoto. Okay, calling agenda item number 73, Aqua Lounge.
Mr. Kyuchi represents Aqua Lounge, and he requests a continuance to July 22nd, 2021. I have no objection.
Motion to continue agenda item 73 to July 22, 2021.
Second?
It's been moved in second to continue agenda item 73 to July 22nd, 2021. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. The matter has been continued. Calling agenda item number 74, Aqua Lounge.
Mr. Kyuchi also represents Aqua Lounge in this matter. He requests a continuance to July 22, 2021. I have no objection.
Motion to continue agenda item 74 to July 22, 2021.
Second?
It's been moved in second to continue agenda item 74 to July 22, 2021. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. The matter is continued. Calling agenda item number 75, Club Vegas Star.
Hi, so my name is Michelle Chen. I just helped my manager.
Can you spell? I'm sorry. Can you spell your name, please?
Micheletrinh. Just want to help for my manager to talk English because he doesn't understand my English.
So you're either translating or interpreting for your manager?
Yes. She told me that she just accept the
Okay, hold
violation
on.
with no context.
Hold on, Ms. Trin. Is that the person seated next to you?
Yes, see it right here.
Okay, what is her name, please?
NGOANHOANG.
It's Ms. Huang?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Choi?
Ms. Wong?
Yes.
I'm going to read two charges. Charge 1, on or about July 3rd, 2020, in the city and county of Honolulu, state of Hawaii, licensee encouraged and or permitted Michelle Trin on the licensed premises to touch, caress, or fondle the breast, buttocks, anus, or genitalia of herself or any other person, either directly or through the clothing or any other material in violation of Rule 3-84-78.042 of the Rules of the Liquor Commission of the City and County of Honolulu. Charge number 2, on or about July 3rd, 2020, at approximately 11:31 p.m. in the City and County of Honolulu, state of Hawaii, licensee failed to have the interior and or exterior of the licensed premises well and properly lighted in violation of Rule 3-84-72.2 of the Rules of the Liquor Commission of the City and County of Honolulu.
Ms. Trin, could you please ask Ms. Huang how does she wish to plead to charge 1?
Yes. She asked if Liquor Commission could give the installment plan for the charges.
I'm sorry, I did not quite hear you, but Ms. Huang needs to enter a plea to charge 1?
She accept that charge, yes.
She accepts the charge?
Yes.
Motion to accept the plea.
Second?
It's been moved in second to accept C for charges 1 and 2
That's it.
in agenda item 75.
Actually, hold on.
Oh, charge one.
Only charge
I'm sorry, for charge
Okay.
one. Any objection, any reservation, seeing none, chair votes aye. The plea is accepted for charge one.
Ms. Trin, could you please ask Ms. Wong how she wishes to plead for charge 2?
Also ask for the installment as
She's having,
she also accept for the charges too.
Okay, just to confirm, Ms. Wong accepts charge 2?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion to accept the plea for charge 2.
Second.
It's been moved in second to accept the charge for charge two for agenda item 75. Any objection, any reservation, seeing none, chair votes aye. The plea is accepted.
Ms. Choi, could you provide your recommendations for both charges, please?
Sure. Charge number 1 is a first-time violation for permitting the touching of, in this case, Michelle Trin was seated in a booth and she was massaging a patron's crotch. My recommended fine is $1,000. For the second charge, in this case, the premises were very poorly lit where the investigators had to use their flashlights to complete the paperwork. My recommended fine is $500.
And for charge 2, I'm sorry if I did not hear, is this the first offense?
It's a first offense, yes.
Thank you. Ms. Trin, could you, we'll give you or Ms. Wong the opportunity to comment or provide an explanation for either charge 1 or charge 2 if she wishes.
We don't have any argument about a charge 2 because the bar has been there for a long time and liquor came down many times. And we had no light in that area, but it's not like no light at all. So liquor commission just came down and said so dark when they already came there so many times and never complain about the light at all. So it just this time, I don't know why. But we just accept the charges, so we don't want any argument or.
Okay, I don't want to be presumptuous, but are you the same Michelle Trin who is part of charge 1?
Yes.
Does Ms. Wong have any explanation for charge 1?
No.
Point of order, what is, Ms. Ray, what's the maximum fine we can issue for charge 1?
monetary,
Yes.
$2,000.
Motion to impose a fine of $2,000 for charge 1 and to approve the recommended fine of $500 for charge 2.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve to approve a fine on $2,000 for charge 1 and $500 for charge 2 for a total of $2,500. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. The penalty is imposed of $2,500.
Thank you.
We got the next one too. Okay, calling agenda item number, Ms. Trin,
Yes.
did you hear the penalty?
Yes, I do.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the next.
We want to ask if
Okay, moving on.
we could do installment plan for 2,500 fund.
Point of order, that would need to be a request, correct?
Typically,
Agenda
yes.
as a request, yeah?
After they receive the adopted decision and order, typically that's when they generate the request, as opposed to it being part of your penalty.
Adjudication.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did not even hear the question.
Oh, she wanted to know if we could do a payment plan.
Oh, okay.
So Ms. Trin,
Yes.
after receiving the adoption of decision and order, then you can make that request to be heard before the commission for a payment plan. You would have to make a separate request.
Okay, thank you very
Okay,
much. Thank
hold
you.
on, you got the next
Thank you.
one. Calling agenda item number 76, Club Vegas Star.
Could you identify yourself again, Ms. Trin, and also Ms. Wong for the record?
Yes. This is on March 18th.
Ms. Trin, could you identify yourself, state your name, and also Ms. Wong's name for the record, please?
Yes, my name is Ms. Shelton and my manager is Wang Hong
Thank you. Ms. Choi?
Ms. Wong,
from Club Vegas Star.
thank you. Ms. Wong and Ms. Trin,
Yes.
on or about March 19, 2021, in the city and county of Honolulu, state of Hawaii, licensee failed to comply with laws applicable to the business of licensee, whether in existence at the time of issue of such license or enacted or amended from time to time thereafter, to wit, the emergency order 2021-03, COVID-19, Recovery Framework Order amending Tier 3 dated March 8, 2021 in violation of Section 281-38 of the Hawaii Revised Statutes.
Ms. Trin, could you please ask Ms. Wong how does she wish to plead?
She accepted.
Motion to accept the plea.
Second.
It's been moved in second to accept the plea for agenda item number 76. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. Plea is accepted.
Ms. Choi, your recommendation, please.
This is a first-time violation of the mayor's emergency order. In this case, the contact tracing logs were not kept and there was a manager seen seated with a person and not wearing a mask. My recommended fine is $500.
Ms. Trin, can you please ask Ms. Wong if she has any comments or explanation for the charge?
No comment.
Motion to approve the recommended fine of $500 for agenda item 76.
Second.
Been moved in second to accept the recommended fee of $500. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. The $500 penalty is imposed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, calling agenda item number 77, Club 939. Calling Club 939.
Oh, yes, this is Stuart Shirasu, STEWART SHIRASU for Club 939.
Ms. Choi?
Mr. Shirasu, on or about October 6, 2019, in the city and county of Honolulu, state of Hawaii, licensee encouraged and/or permitted Tahara Odom on the licensed premises to touch, caress, or fondle the breast, buttocks, anus, or genitalia of herself or any other person, either directly or through the clothing or any other material, in violation of Rule 3-84-78.042 of the Rules of the Liquor Commission of the city and county of Honolulu.
Mr. Shirasu, how do you wish to plead?
No contest.
Motion to accept the plea.
Second.
It's been moved in second to accept the no contest plea for agenda item number 77. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. The plea has been accepted.
Ms. Choi?
This is a second time violation. My recommended fine is $1,000.
Mr. Shirasu, any explanation or comments on this?
The dancer was terminated.
Thank you. Sorry, Ms. Choi, what was the recommendation?
$1,000.
Motion to approve the recommended fine of $1,000 for agenda item 77.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve the recommended fine of $1,000. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. The $1,000 penalty is imposed. Calling agenda item number 78, Club 939.
Sorry, hold on.
Mr. Shirasu, could you introduce yourself again?
Stuart Shirasu for Club 939.
Thank you. Ms. Choi?
Okay. Mr. Shirashi, I'm just going to read two charges here. On or about October 6, 2019, in the city and county of Honolulu, state of Hawaii, licensee permitted and/or allowed employees Brooke Willis, Lauren O'Rourke, and Alondra DeAndrea, and several unidentified customers to engage in lap dancing within the licensed premises as described in Rule 3-80-1.1 of the Rules of the Liquor Commission of the City and County of Honolulu, in violation of Rule 3-82-47.1C of the Rules of the Liquor Commission of the City and County of Honolulu. Charge 2, on or about October 6, 2019, in the city and county of Honolulu, state of Hawaii, licensee's employee Lauren O'Rourke, whose conduct licensee is strictly accountable for under Rule 3-84-78.01A, and who was not employed as an exotic dancer, was unclothed or in such attire, costume, or clothing as to expose to view any portion of the breast below the top of the areola in violation of Rule 3-84-78.02A of the Rules of the Liquor Commission of the City and County of Honolulu.
Mr. Shirasu, how do you wish to plead to charge 1?
No contest.
Motion to accept the plea for charge 1.
It's been moved in second to accept the no contest plea for charge 1 for agenda item 78. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. The no contest plea is accepted for charge 1.
Mr. Shirasu, how do you wish to plead for charge 2?
No contest.
Motion to accept the plea for charge 2.
Second.
It's been moved in second to accept the no contest plea for charge 2 for agenda item 78. Any objections? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. The no contest plea is accepted for charge 2.
Ms. Choi, what are your recommendations for charges 1 and 2, please?
This is a second time violation for lap dancing. My recommended fine is $750. For charge number 2, this is a second time violation for unauthorized nudity. My recommended fine is $750.
Could you provide us with dates of the first charge for both charges 1 and 2?
The dates of the violation were both on October 6, 2019. In the first charge, there was lap dancing by the 3 girls. In the second charge relates to one of the dancers being nude while performing the lap dance, and even though she's a dancer, registered dancers, if they are going to be unclothed, it must be on the stage.
I'm sorry, I might not have asked my question clearly or properly, Ms. Choi. I heard you indicate that both charges are second offenses, and I wanted to know the dates of the first offense for each charge.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me just look back here. Okay, for the first offense on charge 1, it was September 30th of 2017. And then for charge number 2, the first offense occurred on May 12th of 2018.
Thank you. Mr. Shirasu, do you have any explanation or comments on either charges 1 or 2?
No, sir.
Point of order, Ms. Harai, what is the maximum monetary fine we can impose for charge 1?
$2,000.
Thank you. Motion to impose a fine of $2,000 for charge 1 and the approved recommended fine of $750 for charge 2.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve the recommended charge of $2,000 for charge 1 and $750 for charge 2, with a total penalty charge of $2,750. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. The penalty of $2,750 is imposed for agenda item 78. Calling agenda item number 79, Club 939.
Mr. Shirasu, could you introduce yourself again for the record?
Stuart Shirasu for Club 939.
Thank you, Ms. Choi.
Mr. Shirasu, I'm going to read the charge. On October 14, 2020, in the City and County of Honolulu, State of Hawaii, licensee failed to comply with laws applicable to the business of licensee, whether in existence at the time of issue of such license or enacted or amended from time to time thereafter, to it, violating the terms of the Office of the Mayor of the City and County of Honolulu, Emergency Order Number 2020-27, Order implementing Tier 1 dated September 23rd, 2020, in violation of Section 281-38 of the Hawaii Revised Statutes.
Mr. Shirasu, how would you like to plead?
No contest with explanation.
Sure. Motion to accept the plea?
Second.
It's been moved in second to accept the no contest plea for agenda item number 79. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. The no contest plea is accepted.
Ms. Choi?
This is a first-time violation. My recommended fine is $500. In this case, the investigators observed that there were no social distancing measures being followed. I mean, there was some, but the problem was that there were tables where there were persons, more than 5 people, that didn't belong to the same household, and therefore there was a violation on this date.
Thank you. Mr. Shirasu, you wanted to provide an explanation. Please proceed. Mr. Shirasu?
Is he frozen? He looks frozen, right? Might need to, well, no. Right. Huh? Is he back on?
He's coming on.
Okay.
Mr. Shirasu, can you hear us?
My battery died for the length of the meeting.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry,
Are you charged up or on a different device?
Yeah, well, I had to run to my bedroom to find a charger. So
Okay,
can you
thank you.
catch me already?
Yes, I have a question for you. Did you hear the prosecutor's recommendation before you lost connection?
No, I did not.
Okay, Ms. Choi, could you please provide your recommendation once more?
Yes, it's a first-time violation. My recommended fine is $500.
And can you please describe the nature of the violation?
It was during tier one.
Hold on, Mr. Shirasu. My question's
sorry.
for Ms. Choi.
Oh, yes. In this case, that some of the social distancing requirements were not met. In this instance, investigators saw a particular group of 6. They were not of the same household, and any group seated at a table should be limited to 5. And in this case, there was, I believe, 4 patrons, and 2 of them were hostesses.
Thank you.
That were, I mean, there were 2 additional persons who were hostesses sitting next to the patrons.
Thank you. Mr. Shirasu, you can provide your comment or explanation now.
Oh, it was just that it was during tier one where it was limited to same household, and the servers did not know that they were not able to sit there.
Okay, thank you. Motion to approve the recommended fine of $500 for agenda item 79.
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve the recommended fine of $500 for agenda item 79. Any objection? Any with reservations? Seeing none, chair votes aye. The penalty of $500 is imposed. Calling agenda item number 80, Club 939.
Mr. Shirasu, could you please identify yourself again?
Stuart Shirasu for Club 939.
Thank you. Ms. Choi, could you read both charges?
Oh yes, there's 5 charges. Charge number 1, on or about February 9, 2020, in the city and county of Honolulu, state of Hawaii, licensee employed Julia Yusan, Jamie Ann Dickmeyer, and Brooke Higgins in that section of licensed premises where liquor is sold, served, or consumed without said employee being properly registered with the Liquor Commission in violation of Rule 3-82-38.5A of the Rules of the Liquor Commission of the city and county of Honolulu. Charge number 2, on or about February 9, 2020, in the city and county of Honolulu, state of Hawaii, licensee permitted Julia Yusan and Paisley Warren to perform as a dancer in that section of the licensed premises where liquor is sold, served, or consumed, without said dancer being at least 21 years of age in violation of Rule 3-82-38.6B of the Rules of the Liquor Commission of the city and county of Honolulu. Charge number 3, on or about February 9, 2020, in the city and county of Honolulu, state of Hawaii, licensee failed to make time record entries at the time its employee Paisley Warren reported on duty and or when the employee went off duty in violation of Rule 3-82-38.4B of the Rules of the Liquor Commission of the city and county of Honolulu. On or about Charge number 4, on or about February 11, 2020, in the city and county of Honolulu, state of Hawaii, licensee failed to make time record entries at the time its employees, Julia Yusan and Cora Zitek, reported on duty and or when the employees went off duty in violation of Rule 3-82-38.4B of the Rules of the Liquor Commission of the city and county of Honolulu. And charge number 5, on or about February 20, 2020, in the city and county of Honolulu, state of Hawaii, licensee allowed the obstruction, hampering, or interfering with investigations or liquor commission operations in any way, to wit, failure to produce the time cards for Paisley Warren, Cora Zitek, and Clara Carroll in violation of Rule 3-84-79.1 of the Rules of the Liquor Commission of the city and county of Honolulu.
Thank you. Mr. Shirasu, did you hear all of the charges that Ms. Choi read?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna just take them one at a time. How do you wish to plead to charge 1?
No contest.
And how do you wish to plead to charge 2?
No contest.
How do you wish to plead to charge 3?
No contest.
How do you wish to plead to charge 4?
No contest.
And how do you wish to plead to charge 5?
No contest.
Motion to accept the no contest pleas for each of charges 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Second.
It's been moved in second to accept the no contest pleas for charges 1 through 5. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. The no contest plea is accepted for charge 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Ms. Choi, your recommendations for each charge, please.
Yes, for charge number 1, this is a second time violation. My recommended fine is $500 for having unregistered dancers on the premises. For charge number 2, this is a third time violation for having dancers that are under age 21. My recommended fine is $1,000. For charge number 3, this is a second time violation for not keeping adequate time cards reporting the times when employees report on duty and off duty. My recommended fine is $350. For charge number 4, this is also, I'm sorry, hold on. Charge number 4, this is another date, a separate date on February 11, 2020, and it's for also failing to report on the time cards when employees were reporting on duty and off duty. It's technically a third violation, but for adjudication purposes, I'm recommending a fine of $350 as if it was a second violation. And for charge number 5, this is a first-time violation for obstruction, and this is for the failure to provide time cards that were subpoenaed on February 13, 2020. My recommended fine is 1,000.
For the last charge 5, what was the nature of the obstruction, hampering, or interference?
Okay, so the liquor investigators received an anonymous complaint that there were underage dancers. And during prior investigations and inspections, the liquor investigators found time cards of certain underage dancers. As a result, they served a subpoena of Pun Club 939 on February 13, 2020, asking for time cards from February 2nd to February 12 of 2020. They received a set of time cards, but in that set, there was some time cards for the underage dancers that were not produced. The investigators had valid reason to believe that some of those time cards were being withheld because on prior inspections, they had seen some time cards of those missing underage dancers' time cards and took photos of them, but they only saw some. And then in the production of the time cards in response to the subpoena, we didn't see those missing time cards. So there's a belief that they were withholding it.
Thank you. Mr. Shirasu, do you want to provide comments or explanations on any of the charges 1 through 5?
Yeah, those dancers were terminated or left on their own immediately after, and I guess they threw out the time cards when they left. So when they requested them, they were not there, or they were thrown out.
Anything else?
No.
Commissioners, any questions for the licensee or Ms. Choi?
I have a question. Mr. Shirasu.
Yes.
The second charge is claiming that the dancers were not 21 years of age. How old were they?
Presumably 20.
Do you have no record of that, or what is your verification process prior to a dancer coming into employment with you?
Well, they typically provide the liquor card. In this case, they had fake cards. So we obviously didn't double check or do a thorough check of those cards.
I'm sorry, you said they had fake cards?
Yeah, they make cards.
Fake liquor cards issued by us, or presumably by us?
Presumably on their own, off the internet or from friends.
And what is your position towards underage working in your establishment? You are the owner, correct?
Correct. We
And
do our best
How do you feel about that? What is your position on that?
Well, we certainly don't want that. We want to comply with your liquor laws.
Okay, this is your third violation. So you're going based on cards. Is there any other process? I mean, do you just kind of look to kind of see if they're kind of young looking, or what else screening do you do to ensure that they're not underage?
Well, we can verify them with the report, the annual report that come out that show the liquor license listing.
And in this situation, you failed to do that?
Yes.
How often, I guess, let me ask you this. How much dancers or how much employees do you have under your books currently now?
Probably about 100.
Have you verified their records?
When we receive the annual listing, we go through that and we confirm, and of course we delete the ones that are not there anymore.
So since then, have you found anybody else underage?
No.
Do you understand the severity of these charges?
Yes.
Okay, so I've been here maybe about 7 years, and I've seen the severity of these charges that you've been implicated for, and I've voiced then, and I continue to voice now, that I'm not happy with it at all. And I don't think any reputable establishment would want to see this type of conduct or this type of business happening. You can't possibly believe that this is successful in anybody's eyes, employing underage minors like this, or the type of business you're running. I mean, what, any business reorg, I mean, now that seeing how this is working for you and the fines is working against you, you ever seriously sat down and thought about it and thinking about doing something different this time around?
Yes, well, we speak to the managers and the people who are responsible for clocking the dancers in about it continuously.
And how active and proactive are you involved in that process? This is your liquor license that's on the line.
Yeah,
So you understand, without a liquor license, you basically don't have a business, right?
I'm sorry, I don't catch your business.
Without a liquor license, you basically can't serve liquor anymore. You understand that, right?
Correct.
Okay. Just making sure you understand that.
Motion to convene into executive session.
Second?
It's been moved in second to convene into executive session for agenda item number 80. Any objection? Any with reservation? Seeing none, we are now in executive session. Okay, we are back on the record. I'm gonna recall the agenda item, recalling agenda item number 80, Club 939.
Do I need to identify myself again?
Nope.
No, you're good.
Okay, Chair, if I can make motions on the penalty phases. Motion for charge one is to approve the recommended fine of $500. My motion for charge two is to approve, motion for charge three is to approve the recommended fine of $350. Motion for charge four is to approve the recommended fine of $350. For charge five, my motion is to impose a fine of $2,000. And for charge two, my motion is to suspend the license for 30 days.
Second?
It's been moved in second to approve the following fines. For charge one, a fine of $500, to approve the recommended fine of $500. For charge three, to approve the recommended fine of $350. For charge four, to approve the recommended fine of $350. For charge five, to approve the fine of $2,000. And for charge two, a suspension of 30 days. Any objections? Any with reservation? Seeing none, chair votes aye. The penalties have been imposed for all 5 charges. Mr. Shirasu, you have any questions on the fines that was imposed for all 5?
When does it start, the suspension?
When the adoption of the decision and order will be issued to you. It'll be 30 days consecutively after it is issued to you.
Okay.
Ready?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to agenda item number 81, liquor administrator. Any administrative matters?
No administrative matters. Thank you for your service, getting through this long hearing. I'm still here. Thank you, folks. I'm listening.
So are we.
Okay,
Have a good
meeting
evening,
is
folks.
adjourned.
Thank you.